Hey guys, it's M, and today I'm just gonna pop onto the mic. Probably shouldn't. Probably should write out some bullet points or a script, but I think I know this game well enough. I'm damning myself. I think I know this game well enough where I can just speak. I want to talk about Fantasy Strike because I think Fantasy Strike is a very cool game that I love a lot. I think it's really neat. For reference, I like Tekken. Tekken is my main fighting game, but I do have an interest in 2Ds. I understand the mechanics like fundamentals and neutral and like zoning and all of that stuff. But the thing with 2Ds that keeps me away from them most of the time is like the motion inputs and how neutral works in a lot of those games. Like in Tekken, if you get launched, that's when the combos really start. Like, yeah, there's heat and there's some little things, but for the most part, if you get launched in Tekken, that's when your real combo begins, right? In 2D games, if you get tagged at any point of the combo, that's when the combo starts. And things are a little too fast for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm an old ass man now, okay? And I'm a grown ass man. What do I look like? No, but I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but it's just, for me, I'd have to get used to that. Because again, my main game was Tekken, and my main game right before that, which I only really stopped playing because no one else is really on it, is Soul Calibur. I fucking love Soul Calibur. Anyway, Fantasy Strike is a game that is basically just fundamentals. Like, if you understand how fighting games work, you should do pretty good at Fantasy Strike. I think it's a fun game. I think it has a lot of really fun characters. Do some matchups absolutely suck? Yes. The character I love, Rook, oh my god, his more than like half of the cast is like bad matchups for him. But I think he's fun. Quince is a really fun character. You know, seeing double, like the fact that they just get to play around with super simple gimmicks and everyone's limited to the same simple gimmicks. It makes it fun. It makes every interaction like, okay, what's he gonna do? Like, am I in his head? You don't need that entire massive move list, something like Tekken has, for this game. It's just like, do I understand fundamentals better than this other person? Or do I know how to react to these characters? Like the rushdown characters, they can kill most of the cast really fast, but they don't have a ton of health. So if you understand how to get them off of you, then you can consistently beat them. But if they understand the game better than you, and they know how to just like straight maul your character and you can't react to them, then they're going to win those matchups. The zoners, if you don't know how to get in, they're going to shit on you. And again, you're not worried about a ton of keys, you're not worrying about a 100 move list. It's just, do you understand this matchup and your character? Which I think is fun. I think that's the main reason that I played the game so much. And the other thing is, this game doesn't have a lot of downtime. It's not like the 2Ds or even Tekken, where if you get launched or something or the combo starts, you're just kind of sitting there watching what's happening. Most combos in this game are 3 or 4 hits and then you're back into the action. There are so many times you'll just end up right back into the neutral, right back into the fundamentals, and you don't have to waste a lot of time with the other stuff like with juggles. And I think that's really cool. It's really fun and it's really engaging because you're always in doing something. I loved this game since it came out in around like 2020. And some people might hear me saying it has simpler controls and think that it's sweet out here. Like, there isn't levels. There are definitely levels. The moment that you're playing like Rook or something and Rook doesn't work, that's when you start playing against the people who understand the game. There are certain plays that are really stupid. A lot of characters have like 1 or 2 really dumb moves that'll work on people who don't get the game. The second you see someone who understands how the characters work and they just shut your shit down, you know you're in a real Fantasy Strike match. The second they start putting pressure on you and then they go for a throw, that's when you know you're in like a real Fantasy Strike match. Like, there's levels to this game. If someone new picked up this game, they would do better than if we just picked up Tekken or something, sure. But I would still shut them down just because I know the fundamentals. It's so fun. And this is a free fighting game. And you may be asking, how does a free fighting game fail? I mean, yeah, maybe the art style looks a little weird, especially when it just came out. Some characters looked a little different. I think Setsuki's her name, the Rushdown Ninja chick. She looked completely different when the game came out. But overall, a free fighting game with crossplay, with rollback on pretty much every system? You're telling me people wouldn't really be on that at all? Especially after being put on by people like J.M. Crofts, all these little fighting game freak fanatics, you know? Even to this day, Fantasy Strike is pretty much a dead game nowadays. But if I go on the game right now, I'll probably have to wait like maybe a minute or something, oftentimes less than that, and I'll find a match. This still has like a dedicated very small player base, right? Consistently, I found people on no matter what time I'm on. And even some people who played ranked I've run into. So it's like, how does this game die? And there's one really stupid fucking decision that they did that makes no sense to me. From 2020 to 2025, you could not do friend matches. How do you do that? I like genuinely, this is more of a video of me venting my frustrations on that decision because it is so inherently dumb. It makes no sense to me. You made a fighting game for free and you made it so people could not fight their friends until late 2025. It's such a like fucking stupid decision. Okay, let me calm down because I want to say that they thought that people would get the game, hop online, love the game, and then go, let me buy the pass. Because to do friend matches, you had to buy the core pack. It came with arcade mode, story mode, and then friend matches and replays. And I think that's such a backwards way of doing it, to be honest. I don't know if I would say make people have to pay to do online matches, but there had to be some better alternative than just, you know, hey guys, do you want to buy the option to play with your friends? You know, most casual fighting game players only really hop on the game to play with their friends. They're not hopping on online. They're not hopping on ranked. They're not gonna really learn the game. They're gonna get shit on by Daryl, who's probably like in Diamond, and then they're gonna put the game down. They're gonna get zoned out by Grave and then put the game down. They're gonna get shit on by Lum and put the game down. In a friend match, when you and your friend have come back from work or school or whatever, and they're like, there's this new free fighting game, let's try it out. That's like prime moment. And the thing is, other than the core pack, this game was selling skins and stuff. I think it had stuff to keep the community alive, and they fucked themselves for no reason, like at all. Why would you block friend matches for like 5 years? And the thing is, Fantasy Strike, I want to say, died pretty fast. After 2020, I didn't hear anyone talk about this game. I always liked it, but I didn't hear anyone talk about it other than me. I'd love to hop on and play a Rook game. I've had some of the sweatiest Rook games in my life. Don't get me wrong. Some of the sweatiest fighting games in my life trying to play Rook in this game. But like, nobody really wanted to learn the game because you can't do fucking friend matches. I had a group of friends when it came out, and I was like, oh, this game's kind of fun because I was playing around with Rook, and I think I played around with like Onimaru or something. And I'm like, yeah, this game's pretty fun. And my friend goes, oh, let me try it. And you know what he can't do? Play with me because you sold friend matches. Like, why? Why did we do that? I understand. You want an incentive for people to buy. I do get that. Already have skins, you already have the entire arcade mode, you already have the entire story mode, and I want to say there's some other modes that you have that you're selling. Why would you sell friend matches in a fighting game? This isn't like, I don't know, Warframe or literally any other genre where that makes sense. Especially for casuals. You sold friend matches on the fighting game. Like, and I'm only really crunchy about it because I still like Fantasy Strike. Like, I really feel that decision is mainly, or at least a main factor to what killed that game. I know they'd had some balancing patches. Even if you look at the Quince tutorial where they tell you how his kit works, one of his moves does not function the same. His back square, it's an anti-air now. It was not always like that. I thought I was crazy when I saw it, but I was like, nah, it just didn't work like that before. It's like, it's such a shame because it's so much fun. Because someone like me, again, I already played Tekken and SoulCal, like online, in ranked, a lot, you know. So when I got to this game, I was like, oh, well, you know, I could play around and learn a few things. The only reason that worked for me was because I was already into fighting games. I was already like in that bag, and I didn't mind not playing with my friends because a lot of my friends weren't fighting game gamers, right? So the problem is I'm not most people. Like, not to tea or shade anybody, but most people are not gonna go, oh, this fighting game only has online, I'm gonna play like 2 matches and then uninstall it. And you sold the main component that keeps fighting games alive. You know how many people I know who are absolute, like, just dog shit at Tekken, and they still like Tekken because they only do frame matches. They can't do a combo, they don't know neutral, they don't know fundamentals. They could not like do anything at all. And I would beat them like 100 times out of 100, right? So, you know what they do? They go on friend matches with their other friend and they kick back a beer as they just hit buttons and the buttons do things. Like, even recently, I was talking about Fantasy Strike, or I was playing it, I don't know, one of the two. And my friend sees me playing it and he goes, oh, let me try it. And then he hops on and we get into a friend match. You know, before 2025, that could not have happened. And I understand I'm harping on this point a lot, but it is the main point that fucking pisses me off. I don't care about replays. I don't care about the story mode stuff. I don't care about the arcade mode stuff. I think that's fine. I don't care about you selling skins, because every character only starts with like, what, 2 skins? I don't mind that. That's a good way to attract people. If they end up liking these characters and they're playing online, they're gonna buy skins for them because they're gonna go, oh, well, you know, if I want to play this guy, I want more than stone and clay colors for Rook or something. Like that whole experience with my friend, seeing me play the game, he hops on and then we play, could not happen for 5 years. And you know what happened after he played it? He got 2 or 3 of his friends to play it with him. This could not happen for 5 years. So even if any of those people initially would have eventually learned to play the game, it just wouldn't have happened back then because the starting step to get in the door was 20 bucks. For a game that they'll probably just go, oh, I have to play online? Oh, okay. And then cut the shit off. Why was this such a long conclusion to come to? It's like, okay, like, it's annoying. Because I've seen, like, again, I'm a Soul Calibur fan. That game is dead as dishwater. Don't really hear people talking about it. It's there. It has a dedicated fan base for sure. But it's not big. It is not a big fighting game. You're not going to be seeing it at like Evo or something nowadays. You just won't. And I've seen that game die. And I don't think Soul Cal really did anything super wrong except for being released around COVID, right? Or like when it was getting serious, COVID happened. Fantasy Strike literally shot themselves in the foot because they weren't like an Evo tournament level game. All they had to do was get it right on the smallest scale possible. And what do? Sell friend matches for 20 bucks. Like, such a dumb decision. I really think that played a ginormous portion in the game being as dead as it is now. Like, yes, there's a few people you'll see. Even when I play the game, I usually run into the same few good people. There's a lot of... I've had quite a few one and dones, which I think is crazy for fucking Fantasy Strike in 2026. However, a lot of the times where I have these really fun matches where I'm really sitting there thinking and like plotting out how to counterplay these guys, it's usually me and one other person just going back to back to back to back every single time. And I don't think it needed to be like that. I also really need you guys to understand this was like in a pre-2XKO era. The only other free fighting game I can think of off the dome was Brawlhalla. Fantasy Strike is a more traditional 2D fighting game that I imagine more people traditionally would have been into. But the devs fumbled. I can't think of a fumble like this since Monstrum 2, and I'm sorry to really put them out there like that, but it really feels like that. It's like the most dev-induced failure I feel that I've seen with such a small game, and I'm trying to say all this because I'm not coming from a place of hating it. I fucking love Fantasy Strike. I wouldn't be talking about it in 2026 if I didn't. But bro, why? I just want to know why. It's so silly to me. Anyway, I'm probably gonna end up talking in circles if I keep going, so I'll end it here. What do you guys think? That I've been M, and I am out.